Welcome to the Three Musketeers, the sibling podcast that understands your Disney addiction. I'm Jared.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Emily.
We're going to have a very fun episode this week because we're going to be talking about some dining experiences, and we are actually Imagineering our own dining experiences on this episode, so it's going to be 100% our own creations. But first, we're going to get into some trivia. You guys ready to play?
Yep.
Okay, this one is going to be a little tough, I think, but I think you'll probably get it. So, question is, what is the title of the full-length animated feature that Walt Disney originally considered for live-action film instead?
What? I don't even understand the question.
Repeat the question, please.
The title of the full-length animated movie that Walt Disney originally considered doing as a live-action film?
Okay.
Is it A, Peter Pan, B, Cinderella, C, Snow White, or D, The Sword and the Stone?
This is a tricky one. I was
going to narrow it down.
Okay, I'm good with narrowing.
Personally, I don't think it's going to be The Sword and the Stone or Peter Pan.
Oh.
Just because, especially back in that time, I think it would have been very difficult to make somebody fly or do the magic from The Sword and the Stone in a live action. That's why I was narrowing those two down. Did you think it was one of those?
Yeah. I was going to narrow down as well, but I was going to eliminate Sword in the Stone and Snow White.
Okay. What's your logic there?
I don't know. You know me. Do I ever have logic?
I mean, sometimes.
I always just
sometimes
go
I'm
with
very
my
surprised.
gut. Yeah,
I mean, Iowa, Idaho, you know.
I normally just roll with whatever feels right.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
Snow White,
I'm gonna say
I
this,
just feel like it wasn't that.
The only one you guys have not narrowed down is Cinderella. What are your thoughts on Cinderella?
That was one of the ones I thought could possibly be correct. And that was also Walt's favorite, right? So maybe?
Maybe.
I have my
think
final
it's probably
answer.
Cinderella.
All right, what's your final answer then?
Well, Amanda says Cinderella.
Okay.
And I say Peter Pan.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to need you guys to consolidate on an answer.
We don't have to consolidate.
Never consolidate.
No.
That's not true. I typically ask you for
Yes.
a answer that you both agree on.
You used to. Not lately.
Sometimes.
We've been doing good not consolidating.
Well, yeah, because you have a 50-50.
Independent people.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that one of you is correct. And it is not Cinderella. It is Peter Pan.
Oh, okay. See, I actually did have logic for this, but you didn't ask. So
I did ask you, actually. We can rewind this. Okay, so listener, rewind about a minute and a half, and see whenever I do ask Emily what her logic is.
You asked what my logic was for it not being the other two. You didn't ask what my logic was for it being Peter Pan. And my logic for this is that people always recreate Peter Pan as a play. Like, I feel like it's one of the most recreated, like, plays in, like, schools and all sorts of stuff. So for some reason it works as live action. I feel like that's what he was going with too.
All right.
My logic is never actually logic. It's just my
It's just like random
justification.
thoughts of Emily.
Yes,
And
yes, it
I mean,
always is.
in all honesty, that's not far from the truth. Because when Walt was younger, he actually was in a play of Peter Pan.
Okay. Yes. I remember this. I guess that's why it's stuck in my head because I feel like I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean,
There we go.
that is the answer. Peter Pan is the answer. I was really hoping that this one would trip you guys up a little bit more than usual, just because they're all kind of hard to do as a live action. Sword in the Stone obviously has like magic. Cinderella has the animals, and we all know how animals can be whenever you're doing movies. Snow White, I think, was, kind of out there for an answer. I just kind of tossed it together because it was, within that time frame. But yeah, Peter Pan is the answer. So if you got that at home, congratulations.
If you had done Lion King as a choice, I would have picked that one.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind for next time.
Didn't do that one, right? Right?
Which movie does not have talking animals? Lion King.
Ay, ay, ay.
Okay. Well, Emily, let's go ahead and get into a history fact.
All right. So we all know, at least I think we know, that Walt Disney loves railroads, right?
Right?
Yes, we all do.
That's like, he had a really big fascination with railroads. And I mean, there's a railroad in the parks, and he loved railroads. So, did y'all know that he built a miniature railroad in his backyard that he called the Carrollwood Pacific Railroad? And it was 2,615 feet of track and included loops, overpasses, and a tunnel. But it did not include going through his wife's flower bed because she said, heck no, you're not doing that when he suggested it.
That is awesome. I did not know that, but that's pretty cool.
So I knew
know.
about the personal train track, but I didn't know like the ins and outs and how big it was or anything like that.
Yeah, pretty big. I mean, for a
So-
backyard train.
Is it like a train you could ride on, or was it like a model train?
I'm thinking it's like a model train is the impression that I got.
Okay, because that makes the track seem a lot longer.
Yeah, no, I know.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, Walt was famous for loving trains, so
Yep. I thought it was cool that he had one in his backyard.
very cool. Well, Amanda, why don't you go ahead and give us a tip for the week?
This tip is for anyone traveling with smaller children. A great tip is to put their name and your phone number on the inside of the band so that if your child gets lost, wanders away, then whoever finds them has a way to contact you. Another way to do this if you aren't getting magic bands is to write your number on their arm and your name on their arm and put liquid Band-Aid on top of it, and that way it'll stay all day, and even washing their hands and things, it won't rub off.
Okay. I think there's several ways that you can do this. There's obviously, the inside of the magic band, like you're suggesting, writing it on their arm, but I think there's better ways probably.
Like a tattoo?
Yeah, like permanent, like legitimate tattoos on the back of the neck of your kids.
Jeez.
No, Emily,
Yep.
geez, come on. No, like you can probably get like a one of those luggage tags, and you can probably like tie it around their belt loop and
Do you
put
know
it in
how
their pocket.
uncomfortable that's going to be?
I mean, I'm just saying,
I
there's
mean,
options.
there are options. These are free options that is convenient. It won't get lost. Those luggage tags can fall off. I mean, if it's written on their arm, it's not hurting them and it washes off. You can take it off later.
I'm just saying, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm
Okay.
just saying there's
Sounded
also
like you
other
were.
options too. How about this? How about you just put your kid on a leash and just don't let them get out of your sight?
Hey, a lot of people do that.
A lot of people
I've
do
done
it.
that, especially for my little one. He likes to run.
Well, there you go. See, now you don't need to worry about them getting lost.
Well, I like your ideas, and I mean, you really could. I was obviously joking, don't tattoo your children, but it's the liquid band-aid thing is kind of like a temporary tattoo. So
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
it's a good idea. Don't lose your children, people. And
Yes.
if you do, be able to find them.
Yes.
I mean, I think, don't they have like a very high success rate of finding lost kids and getting them back to their parents? So even
They
if
do.
even
but
if they don't have this stuff, chances are your children will be fine. But
right, you'll go to the child care
Yeah.
area, or the not child care, but the lost child area, and you can find them. This
Yeah.
just makes
it
it
makes
a
it a
lot
lot
easier.
easier for the cast members to contact you.
Cast members, it doesn't even have to be a cast member. If someone found a random child walking around, and I mean, I usually can tell if somebody's lost, and it was written on their arm how to contact their parents. It makes it very easy for me to call and say, hey, not sure if you're missing your child or not, but I found them. Here we are right here. And they could come right there and not have to bring them all the way to the lost child area.
And then the parents are going to expect you to feed them and take them
Oh, good
on
grief.
rides.
Just keep them for the whole day.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're going to get Olga's Cantina. Can you just like take them and meet us at like Pop Century later
I
tonight?
will be bringing them to the lost child area. Thank you very much.
Okay. I mean, in all honesty, it's a pretty good tip. There's probably nothing more stressful than losing your child in a large, crowded area. So anything that makes it easier to help you find your kids is going to be, highly helpful. So good tip.
Now on to this or that. Would you rather go on a cruise on an older Disney ship and be in concierge level, or be on the inaugural Disney Wish cruise and be in an inside stateroom? So for this, we are considering everything else to be the same. We're saying they both go to the same place. They're both around the same time of year. Everything else is the same.
So the main difference, it's the ship, the brand new one, or the older ones, and the room.
Right.
A room upgrade on an older.
So can you explain concierge level?
So for the concierge level room, you're going to have a veranda. It's going to be similar to the veranda rooms, but it's going to have the concierge level amenities that come along with it. There's a special lounge, special dining events, and drinks that are included in it. There are other things as well, but that's the main gist of it.
Yeah. So it's an upgrade basically.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a bigger room and an upgrade. And
right, and you're probably getting like extra good service as well.
Right.
So, I think I have my answer.
I keep going back and forth, honestly. I do like the idea of concierge level, but at the same time, I kind of like the idea of being on the inaugural voyage of Disney Wish. Because there's a lot of really cool things on Disney Wish.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Me too. That's why I think this one's difficult for me.
It
And I
is
thought it would
pretty
be a good
difficult.
question.
Yeah. Emily, well, why don't you go ahead and go? If you have your answer, what's your answer?
Okay, so for me, I think that I'm going with an older ship, but the concierge level room. And I'm picking that. I mean, I think it would be really cool, just like Jared said, to be on the inaugural trip. But I mainly picked this one because I am claustrophobic. And I at
Okay.
least need a porthole here. And I don't even get a porthole on the new ship. So,
You don't even get one of the fake portholes on
yeah,
the new ship.
exactly. And cruise ship rooms are tiny. So, I need to be able to get some fresh air or at least see that I'm not trapped in a tiny box. And I mean, it's a Disney cruise. You can't go wrong with any of them. They're all amazing, even the older ones. It's not like you're staying in a Motel 6 cruise. So, I'm going
That'd
with
be
that
interesting.
because it's
You bring this
No,
up as a joke, but
that is-
I'm kind of interested what a Motel 6 cruise would look like.
not great. I would not trust it.
You've got my wheels a turning.
Oh
I think they
gosh.
probably have some of those out there.
Probably so, honestly. There's probably comparable cruise lines.
We'll leave the lifeboat lights on for you.
Yeah. But yeah, so you can't go wrong. And I think staying in a concierge room and all the things that go along with that would be amazing. You're going to feel like a pampered princess. So that's what I'm going with.
All right. Good choice.
Okay.
What about you, Jared?
I think I'm going to actually go with the opposite. I think I'm going to go with the inaugural Disney Wish, just because I have been in an interior room. It was a little bit of a bigger room. I think the Disney Wish, I think they're like 126 square feet or something like that. Is that correct? Something small. I know that. You don't have to have the exact square footage, but I know it's going to be small. I just don't see myself spending a whole lot of time in the room itself. So I think that with, just being me and probably my daughter, my son probably wouldn't want to go. So if it was just me and my daughter, I think that we would be able to fit in there perfectly fine. All of our time would be spent out on the deck and either at the pool or eating or, enjoying some form of entertainment on the ship. So I don't think that I really have to have a whole lot of time in the room itself.
That's a good point.
That's not a bad answer either. Like I said, this one could go either way. I think I would probably choose the concierge level room because I would be traveling with my husband and my two youngest children, and all of us in a little bitty inside room would not necessarily be the best.
Yeah.
My youngest little boy is a little wild, and oh my gosh, he would run circles around in there, and I don't know that I could handle that.
Think about it this way,
And
though. If he doesn't have a lot of space to run around, he's a lot easier to catch.
true. Also, if they're asleep, because they are younger, I mean, right now they're 4 and 2. So if they are asleep in the room, then my husband and I could still stay awake and be on the veranda and not have to go to bed at 8 o'clock like they do. So I would choose the veranda room, concierge room.
Good choice. Think about how beautiful the sunrises and sunsets would be too, that you get to
I
enjoy
know.
in private.
Right. And the fresh air. Yes.
Yeah.
This is, yep.
Yep.
All sounding really good.
I agree.
I don't I don't think there's a wrong choice here.
I
As
don't
No, it's
as
a
either.
Disney
most yeah.
cruise. They're
Exactly. At
top
this
of the
point,
line.
I would be happy to go on any of them. So, yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Any of them. So for those of you who don't know, the Disney Wish is actually starting to book this month on the 27th, and we happen to have somebody who just went through training for Disney Wish and booking that. Amanda, you just went through the Disney Wish training.
I did. We'll
Nice.
also have more trainings up until then. They haven't released everything yet, so it's kind of being building the anticipation
Yeah.
That's
on all
exciting.
of it. So it is exciting.
I'm really interested to find out what the Marvel cinematic dining experience is going to be.
Me too. All
But
of it. I'm ready to experience all of it.
they hinted at it and they didn't really give much information, and I'm very aggravated because I want to know what it's about. But speaking of dining, let's go ahead and get into the main topic. Our main topic is going to be Imagineering a dining experience. This is a brand new 100% original on the Three Musketeers, and we are going to all three have our own idea of what a new dining experience could be. So I know that I've had a couple ideas. I have one main idea that I'm really excited about. What about you guys? Did you just get one? Did you have a couple extra like honorable mentions?
I had
Yeah.
one that was more formed than the other one. It was just the other one was just kind of a brief idea. I did previously mention one when we did our retheming ideas,
Yeah.
and I mentioned the one for Pecos Bills turning it into Tiana's place,
Oh yeah.
and I think that one would still be really cool.
Yeah,
But
I do still really
Mhm.
like that idea.
Yeah,
yeah,
me too.
but we already talked about that one, so you can go back and listen to that episode later.
Yeah, I have one main idea, but I actually had like several that I was kind of having a hard time deciding between, but I ended up just picking one.
All
What's
right.
what's one of the ones that you kind of had an idea before you actually had your final idea?
Well, my other ones were kind of more themed off of either a ride or a movie, but the one that I ended up going with was not. So that's why I went with it. But I had a Haunted Mansion one, and then I had like some fun details of that one. Um, and then I also had a Little Mermaid one, which I know they have the Coral Reef restaurant, but how cool would it be if they had like big aquariums that kind of engulf the room, like surround the room, and they have actual mermaids, like people that are trained like as mermaid divers,
Hmm.
swimming around in there. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd
That
be
would be cool.
interesting.
I think so too.
Hmm.
And it could be over by like the Little Mermaid ride.
Yeah, not a bad idea either.
No, not a bad idea. I think it would be very fun. I think the kids would absolutely enjoy that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I had one that was Tower of Terror. So you just get
Of
into the
course.
elevator and you just drop with all your food.
Mhm.
And that seems
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Oh, that's a mess.
Yeah, it is.
Do they give
But
you a change of clothes or
but
a
an
poncho?
experience. I mean, you can wear your own poncho if you want to, but I think the experience is getting the food on you. It's almost like going on the river rapids, right? You go expecting to get wet.
Yeah, but you don't bring your food on that ride.
I mean, hey, don't knock it.
I really thought you were going to say, you ride the elevator up to the very top and you get off and there's a dining experience up there. And
Nope.
then when you're done, you go and you ride the ride.
Nah.
Like you would,
This would
Oh,
think
yeah,
about
I
the
know.
throw up.
this
I
would
know.
be the the idea here is to be a quick service.
Yeah.
Get in, get out.
Yikes.
Okay, well, who wants to go first on their fully fledged idea?
I I think Emily does.
Oh man, I feel like I always go first. Y'all.
Youngest
I
goes
feel
first.
like that's lame, but okay. Okay, so my idea. Okay, let's first think about the area that it would go in. So I am putting my restaurant in Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom because I feel like, first of all, they really don't have. Do they even have a sit down restaurant? No, right? Am I missing one?
Not in Tomorrowland.
No.
No, they don't because they have the Starlight quick service,
Right.
but they don't have a table service. So this is perfect. Okay. We are thinking kind of like an Omni Mover, like the People Mover. Whenever I was trying to come up with my idea, I thought about my favorite rides, and People Mover is one of my favorite rides. So it's like the People Mover, which it actually might need to take the place of the People Mover. Don't come at me, but it might have to. This might be the perfect location. So it is an Omni Mover type of restaurant, which I don't know if that's been done before, but we're doing it now. And we're going to make it like very futuristic. So the tables that you're at, you like each family, each party has their own Omni Mover cart. And it's going to be like a dome, like a fully glass dome. But I don't know why I added this part, but it's going to be tinted from the outside so people can't see in and like watch you eat, you know, but you can see out and enjoy the 360 views. Maybe that's just me because I hate whenever people watch me eat.
Yeah,
But
I do too.
yeah, so it makes you more comfortable. You can enjoy the dinner or lunch or whatever with your family and enjoy the 360 views as you move around the park. And then to make this more futuristic, kind of futuristic, I like the theming of Tomorrowland where it's kind of outdated future, like it's kind of retro future, you know? And I like that. So our waiters are robots. And they can just, because you know, if it's a person and they're like running on the freaking Omni Mover trying to get to your cart, that might get dangerous. So
Maybe.
I thought that through, and that's why we're going with robot servers, and it fits the theming of the, Tomorrowland. And then as far as food goes, I just think like really kind of like weird, futuristic, but also still like normal, like everyone's can eat it, you know? So like foaming drinks that like if you put dry ice in them, you know, and it has smoke, or like really unique, like they could partner with like Coca-Cola and do like really unique, weird, futuristic looking Cokes and stuff like that, you know, I don't know.
I feel like you've missed an opportunity to maybe do like space packed food.
Okay, I thought about that, but then I was like, do people really actually want that? I don't know.
I don't know, because then it kind of comes across as like MRE type meals, and I don't know how people feel about that.
That's what I was, because I did think about that. And maybe they could have like a dessert that's like that, that's like a futuristic. Actually, I ran this idea past my husband, and he said that we shouldn't even have food. We should really take it like to the future level, and it's just a pill that you take.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm going to be honest.
But I love food. So we're going for the experience here.
Or you could do it where each of your Omni Movers has their own food printer in there and it prints your food for you.
Okay, that would be freaking cool. Yeah, I like that. And then, but I still like the robot idea, but if you have a food printer, we're just talking about stuff that's not even like existing. But if we could have this, we could do away with the robots and your waiter could be like a hologram.
Hologram. There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like the idea of like a moving restaurant.
Me too. Because I've always said, like, I think it would be cool if you could eat your lunch on the People Mover and just keep going around and around and around. So,
See, what they could do instead of having the robots bring stuff out to you, anytime you go into like the loading area or whatever, the or it could be in a different area, but you could have the servers set up there. So you do your order either through your phone or some tablet while you're riding around the first time.
Yeah.
When you come back through, they give you your drinks and everything. And when you come
Yeah.
back the next time, appetizers, whatever, you know.
Right, it stops at the different locations to like for them to
Right.
serve you your stuff. And then no, I lost my
I mean,
thought.
if
Sorry.
if you're going futuristic, there's an opportunity where you can go fully automated, where they have like certain destinations where it drops off your food. Like if you have an automated system to bring your food, like after it's prepared, bring your food to a certain destination to drop off your food at your table as you go by.
I think that's what Amanda just said.
Basically.
Pretty much.
Well, mine wasn't automated though, I
right,
guess.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's true.
But it was very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
I'm just expanding on the idea.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you think about it, futuristic is automation, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it would make a lot more sense for it to be automated,
Yeah.
like an Amazon warehouse.
Okay.
Just saying.
They do have people working in Amazon warehouses, just so you're aware.
No, I'm fully aware.
No, I think that's a cool idea, Em.
I think it would be fun. I don't think that there are any restaurants like that out there. So,
I do think this is a lot better than the one you mentioned to us earlier today.
yeah, should I mention that one?
Yes,
Probably
please do.
not.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
please do.
Horrible.
Well, Jared wanted us to run our ideas past each other so that we didn't pick the same thing. So I texted them and told them I was going to do a Cruella de Vil themed restaurant where you were served fake dogs. And Amanda said, they don't eat the dogs in Cruella. And I said, yeah, but they're taking their fur, so that's kind of just a waste. So you got to use the whole animal.
This is
Horrible.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, but
And-
I also had the idea of, getting the tables are Dalmatian like fur, and you get a Dalmatian coat when you come in, and you also get a Cruella de cigar.
Even for the children.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
kids-
said
the
even
kids
for
get
the
it too.
children. You can't exclude the children. They want to be like Cruella.
I think by law you
you're
have to
encouraging
exclude the kids.
It's just a candy cigarette.
Yeah, or it just blows bubbles at the end. It's fine. It's fine.
Encouraging children to smoke. Good job, Em.
Yeah.
No, y'all.
Getting tattoos and smoking cigarettes. Good job, Emily.
You're on the roll tonight.
This is all in good fun. I love children. I love dogs. I love dogs the most. So
Wow.
I'm just gonna shut up.
We
Whose
see
turn
where
is it?
your allegiances lie. That's okay.
Whose turn? Let's go.
Okay.
Move on from me.
I can go. So, Emily, I'm very happy that you did not pick the Haunted Mansion because I did pick the Haunted Mansion.
Ooh, okay.
And I think this is a very good opportunity to have a very cool experience. So, the restaurant that I came up with is called the Grand Ballroom. And it is obviously a Haunted Mansion themed dining experience. The character meet and greets would be Phineas, Ezra, and Gus. And Amanda and I kind of talked about this outside of the podcast, and we kind of were trying to figure out if they were going to be like people or holograms or whatnot. And I think it kind of works better as actual people that could be, in costume, but there's a lot of opportunity to include, obviously the hologram aspect here. One of the things that I thought about was the stretching room could be literally the whole restaurant. And you could have, not the exact stretching room from the beginning of Haunted Mansion, but something very similar where it's just at the top and it just continually stretches and comes back down as you're eating. This restaurant would have one of the main, I guess, things to look at while you're there, because a lot of the restaurants that are already in the parks have like these little areas that you can go and you can kind of look at some of the stuff that's related to the theme, right? Like the Be Our Guest has the Rose Room and stuff like that, right? So this would have the organ in the front of the restaurant, and the organist would be sitting there playing, and it would be, hologram, and it would act as if it was playing the organ and was see-through. One of the really cool things that I thought would be fun was to have one like special dining table where people could rent it for special occasions or whatever, and that would be the seance table with Madame Leota right in the middle of that table.
I think that'd be cool.
I know, I like that idea as well.
Another thing that would be very cool to add in here is like just to have random ghosts pop out from the middle of your table. Like just holograms just randomly popping up out of the middle of the table would be hilarious to me. Like it just like pops up and makes some goofy face or something.
Yeah, that honestly would be cool if like all of a sudden they like came out and like laid in the middle of your table, like across your table, or like started just kind of interacting with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like at the end of the ride whenever the hitchhiking ghosts are there.
Right.
Exactly.
Let's see, what else? There was a couple other things. One of the other things that I would add on to this experience would be that obviously if it's called the Grand Ballroom, you're going to have a dance floor, and you would be able to, adults, kids, whoever can go out on this dance floor and dance with the ghosts that you would see in the Haunted Mansion.
That would be cool.
So I think this would be a really fun, like, dinner dining experience, like at night, or even if it's like people who are on their honeymoon or something like that, go and have like this special night at this weird Haunted Mansion themed restaurant. But yeah, the menu that I kind of put together for this is kind of Victorian style. Like I'm thinking soups and salads along with like meat pies and like a shepherd's pie maybe and stuff like that. Salmon would obviously be on the menu. Obviously.
Awesome.
But yeah, this one would go, like, there's not a whole lot of space to put anything, really. Especially if it's, Haunted Mansion themed. The only place that you can really put it is Tom Sawyer's Island.
Hey, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's underutilized at this point, I think.
Right. I've never even been over there. I would like to on my next trip, though. But I really like your Haunted Mansion idea. And obviously, because I also thought Haunted Mansion restaurant would be really cool.
So what were you going to do with your parts that could, be incorporated in with Jared's?
Honestly, I also thought about the whole ballroom. I think because, in that ballroom scene, there's a table and people are dining. Right. So It seems like a good way to incorporate that into the restaurant. But I thought about like how Jared said a Madame Leota table with Madame Leota like in the middle. Well, I was thinking that when your food came out, it could be like in a Madame Leota dome, and they could be like smoking and stuff in there, like with purple or green smoke, like, and that's how they served your food, was in one of those domes that what is that called, like a
crystal ball?
A crystal ball?
Why can I not think
dome?
of crystal ball? I just kept calling it a dome. Yeah, a crystal ball. There we go. But honestly, I thought about, having the holograms and kind of similar, honestly, to what Jared was thinking, which is funny.
I'm curious why you decided you wanted real people to do the meet and greets instead of holograms.
I think just because there's already a lot of hologram aspects that I wanted to add into it. I mean, if we're talking about the organist, we're talking about the table ghosts, we're talking about the dance floor ghosts. There's already a lot of holograms there. So I think like having physical characters there might be a little bit better. You can interact a little bit more. You know, kids
They can be,
can be a little bit more interactive with those characters than a
yeah,
hologram.
I agree. They can be like more personable. Yeah, I also think it would be really cool if like, I mean, you probably thought of this too, where like the person that seats you is like the ghost host, you know?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, that'd be
Clever,
fun.
right?
Yeah.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the real people, going back to that, sorry. I would just having the holograms and the real people playing for consistency seems a little weird to me, I guess.
Well, I mean, I think the main thing would be it would be obviously the holograms would be the main focus, right? But the I think just adding the character meet and greet, kind of like how they had. Now I can't remember who they had at the restaurant in Norway right before you went in.
Belle.
Yeah, it was Belle. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, kind of similar to that, where like you come in and there's like a dedicated spot. I know that that restaurant has the other princesses that come into while the dining room while you're eating, but I think if you have like a special meet and greet area, I think it kind of opens it up for the experience a little bit more to be hologram while you're sitting down and eating.
Okay. See, I was, whenever you first had mentioned it, I was picturing them walking around to your tables and having the holograms. So to me, that mixture seemed odd, but having a special meet and greet before makes it different, I
Yeah,
think.
either before or maybe even after.
Yeah,
Uh,
either way.
I think it goes with the theme a little better if it's afterward.
Yeah, I agree. Nope, I think that's a cool idea. I
Me
like it.
too.
I'd eat there.
Me too.
I wouldn't.
Oh,
Okay.
No, I obviously I would. It's my idea. Why wouldn't I? Would you eat that menu though?
I mean, I like shepherd's pie, but it seems a little.
I feel like there's some stuff missing. Like I didn't really go deep into the menu because I mean I'm not a chef. I can't put menus
yeah.
together. But I mean this is just kind of like a vague idea of what the dining might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could come up with something
So
cool.
I think they could. It's Disney after all.
It
Hmm.
is.
Well, Amanda, what's your idea?
So you can tell that we really think Magic Kingdom needs more dining options because mine is also in Magic Kingdom. So I would like for us to have a snuggly duckling in Magic Kingdom, and it can be in the Tangled area. I've heard that that area is has room to expand. And so I think you could definitely put it in there. If not, M's gonna hate me for this, but if not there,
No,
then you could put it in Columbia Harbor House.
I knew it. I knew it. No.
Hey, they have the food from Columbia Harbor House at Tomorrowland Terrace, so they
No,
still
that,
have the
mm-mm.
food,
No. It's the atmosphere.
which would work great for the Snuggly Duckling also. You know I'm right.
No. But continue.
So, what I think would be really cool, so originally my husband had suggested a villain's restaurant, which I thought was a pretty good idea. And then I was like, "Oh, well we should do a Snuggly Duckling." just thinking about, oh, bad guys from that. And then I was like, we should combine these. So you have the Snuggly Duckling and the villains come into the restaurant. So I don't necessarily want them going to everybody's table. I want it to be more like they're there to dine almost and cause trouble. So they come and they sit at a table. So it's almost like a show along with your dining experience.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I wa- Did you ever watch House of Mouse, the villains episode?
Yes, I have seen
I
that.
feel like it would be similar to that,
I
where
th-
they're all just kind of sitting at a table together and causing havoc, and maybe two tables and them starting stuff with each other. And
I think that would be cool. They don't have anything like that. Like, oh, sometimes the characters interact with each other and kind of like play around, like mess with each other, but nothing like to that extent. That would be cool.
right. So I think that would be pretty cool. And then food wise, I was kind of thinking maybe a mixture between German and Polish food. Also,
okay.
could be a little pub style.
Hmm.
So it would kind of be a mixture, just kind of going off of where Tangled kind of took place. Um, that's why I decided on that type of food.
Yeah.
But I think you could have different villains coming in there throughout the day. It would bring villains into the parks without making it super scary for the kids. Um, and it would appease a lot of fans that they had access to villain. And you could also have maybe have Rapunzel and Flynn Rider come in and actually do meet and greets where they're coming to the different tables and meeting everybody.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, I
kind.
like
That'd
that.
be kind of fun. I think that we definitely have to figure out which villains are going to be coming to the restaurant. Number
I
one for sure, Jafar.
No.
Emily, I know, is
He's
going to
not
say
invited.
Gaston.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gaston being there, I can see Cruella being there, or the Evil Queen.
Yeah. Like all the real good evil ones.
Maleficent showing up occasionally.
I love Maleficent.
I know you do. But I think that would be cool. And it could be random, so it may not always be the same villain.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Like, would there be like a rotation of different characters that would come through?
I would think so, because you want the people who come in at different times to be able to see a variety,
Yeah.
I would think,
Yeah.
and not see the same thing over again. So you have to make it a long enough loop that people don't see the same thing twice.
Well, I mean, how often do you think people would go to this restaurant, though?
Oh, I'm just thinking in one sitting
Oh, okay.
that
Yeah, in
you're
one
going to sit
sitting.
there
Right.
and you don't want to see the same thing, because they're going to have to do it on some type of a script, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, loosely based, I would guess. But you don't want them to see the whole thing start over again, because the characters are going to have to swap out.
Yeah.
They're not going to sit there for hours. So you want it to be a long enough event or whatever that people sitting in the restaurant aren't going to see a new rotation start.
It's kind of like dinner theater.
Yeah,
Almost,
exactly.
Yeah, it's basically a dinner theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. Disney doesn't really have anything like that. So I like that idea, and I like the dining with the villains theme.
And
Yeah, I
it's
do
something
like
that
that.
could be done all year, and it's not just a Halloween thing.
Oh, yeah. That's one thing that I wish that they would do more in the parks in general, is have the villains there at other times besides Halloween.
Right.
Agreed. Because we all know how fond of memories Emily has of Jafar.
Yes.
I think Amanda has more fond memories of Jafar than Emily does. Okay.
I just have a fun picture with Jafar.
Funny is more like it. Okay, that's going to do it for our main topic. Let us know on social media if you like our ideas. If you have your own ideas, we'd love to hear them. You can find us at T3M Podcast on all social media platforms. All right, that's going to get us into mousekeeping. We would like to promote our YouTube channel. You can find that at bit.ly/T3M YouTube, and that is all lowercase. On our YouTube channel, you can find our live stream videos that we do and a couple other small little videos that we've done at the parks. I had one where I talked about the Riviera Hotel, the one bedroom, and that one's pretty interesting. If you've never seen the Riviera and you would like to see that, that's definitely on our YouTube channel. That link again is bit.ly/T3M YouTube. If you love the show, let us know. Leaving us a 5-star written review is the best way to let us know if we're covering the topics that you'd like us to cover.
If you're looking to travel, I can plan the trip of your dreams. Whether you're looking for a Disney vacation, Universal vacation, all-inclusive resort, international destination, or a cruise, even the Disney Wish, I'm here to help. Contact me when you're ready for your free, no-obligation quote, and don't forget that my services are complimentary. You can find me on Facebook at Amanda.hollis, Capture the Magic Vacations.
Join us for our next episode, releasing Thursday, the 20th of May. We're going to be discussing ways that you can celebrate your birthday at Disney. Be sure you're subscribed to the show so that you're updated when a new episode comes out every other Thursday.
Okay, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for listening. You can also be a part of the magic by following the show at T3M Podcast on all social media platforms. That's T3M Podcast. Leave a 5-star written review and we'll read it on an upcoming episode. If you have an announcement that you would like to have on the show or just want to reach out to us, you can send us an email at t3mpodcast@gmail.com.
Have a zippity-doo-dah day.
See you real soon.